Hello. Wow. I know my daughter is listening. I know she's got her notification or she'll be getting it soon. Her and her sister. Boy, a parent's job is never done. And I wasn't planning on going live tonight. I'm at work. I need to get up early and go to work tomorrow. But I told my daughter I'm going live because we had a disagreement. And I tell you, you raise your kids because most parents, you want your children to be better than you. You want your children to be successful in life. You give your children advice so that they don't make the same mistakes that you've made. And I've shared on a few videos how, due to my childhood and the type of environment that I was raised in, that I was overprotective of my girls. So much so that they were sheltered. Um, I was very strict. They couldn't make any mistakes in school. I came from the old school of, children do not talk back. When I speak, you're quiet and you listen. And that's fine. But oftentimes, sometimes, that can have a detrimental effect on your children. Hey, VS, thank you. And your children end up growing up where they're afraid to share things with you. They're afraid of disappointing you. And I have two girls, they're adults. And one thing I can say, they're very independent. I know neither would become a prostitute because they just don't have hoe in their blood. And they would rather figure out a solution to their problem before coming to me to resolve it for them. And this evening, my daughter came into town to help me out. And my daughter graduated this year with her master's degree in speech language pathology. And what most of you do not know, and you'll learn tonight, is that I have a son who is nonverbal and he has Down syndrome. And so my daughter, she ended up, I remember when she first went off to college, she wanted to be a registered nurse like me, but she wanted to be a pediatric nurse. And in fact, she wanted to be a pediatric nurse practitioner working with kids because of her brother. And after the first year, I told her I wanted her to choose a career that she enjoys, that she finds fun, find something where it doesn't feel like work. So when you wake up, you enjoy going. She changed her major to psychology because she enjoys psychology. Well, in one of the classes, she happened to meet a classmate whom also had a sibling that was nonverbal. And my daughter changed her career, her major rather, to uh, speech language pathology. And once she took her first class, she fell in love. She knew that's what she wanted to do. Well, anyway, my daughter comes into town for the summer because she's going to help me with her brother. She's going to watch her brother, and I'm going to pay her. So I wanted to know, how much did she want to get paid? She told me Mom, I just need to pay for my rent. So I'm like, okay, fine. That way, hi, Miss Coffee. She can, work with her brother over the summer for a month until she goes because she got offered a job and so forth. So she's just staying out here for a month. Well, she dropped me off at work today, and I told her to go to the bank and pull out $800 for me out of my account. Gave her my card and everything. She comes and picks me up from work, and I'm an hour late getting off work, and I explained to her, something happened at work, and I needed to do an incident report. So we're gonna fast forward. We're in the truck. She said, "Mom, I bought you dinner," and I'm like, "Oh, thank you." So I asked her, "Where is the money?" Because it was a large amount, and she said, "Oh, I put it in my bank account." And I'm like, "Why would you put it in your bank account?" And she said, "Well, I thought it was for me." So anyway, we're going back and forth, and I'm talking to her, and I can see clearly she's getting frustrated with me. So I can tell when my children are about to cry, and she's trying to hold on and be stoic and strong. And she has that little Valley Girl, liberal, I don't want to say where in California, but her dialect and the way she talks and everything. And I tell her it's just communication. You assume that I was giving the money to you. Why would you assume that? I know what I'm paying her. So she gets so frustrated with me that she tells me, fine, let's just go drive to the bank and I'll get the money out my account and give it back to you. And that's not the answer that I wanted. We can communicate. And I'm speaking calmly to her. Yep, yep. My Miss Coffee is a Sagittarius. And so I'm trying to talk to her and communicate and tell her it was poor communication, what she should have done. And I told her, I admitted to her, it's not her fault, it's my fault as well because she assumed that when she took out that money that I was giving it to her to put in her account, but I pay her each week. Each week that she watches her brother, I pay her. And this amount that I had her pull out my account was way more than double, almost triple what I normally pay her each week. And so it was my fault as well. I should have communicated with her that I only wanted her to pull it out of one account. So when I got off work, I could put the money in my second account. Move that money around. Well, anyway, we're going back and forth, and then she gets so flustered with me. She gets to yelling, and she said, "Fine, I'll give the money back to you, and I'll, when I get back, I'll just hustle and grind, and I'll find a way to make up the money so I can pay my rent." And I'm looking at her, and I tell her, when we discussed this, you should have told me how much you needed. I'm thinking all I'm paying for is her rent for a month. I'm not knowing she needed the rent. She's buying groceries. Uh, she's paying for her credentialing. What else did she say she had to pay for? Her TV test for her new job she's getting. I didn't know all this. So that's what I'm trying to explain to her. She should have communicated that with me. So then I tell her, we don't need to go to the bank. Keep the money. Why is she trying to give it back to me? Because she needs it to pay her rent. So she does that Valley Girl talking while she's crying and she's yelling. And so I don't think I was imitating, but maybe I was a little bit. I was talking like her. Like, why are you pulling this Caucasian girl bit? You're getting flustered. You're getting worked up. You're crying. I'm just communicating with you. And oh my God, I tried to do the gentle parenting, but then she said, "You're invalidating my emotions by laughing and mocking me." Oh my God, the hood came out of me. But it, uh, I told her it's just poor communication all around. Like, really, girl, you're gonna be behind on your rent. You're gonna get back home and try to hustle. It'll be 2 weeks before you get a check. She's 25. He's 25, Miss Coffee. My girls are so independent. They're so spoiled, but I have been hard on them. But I've learned, maybe about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, where I recognized how hard I was on them, and where I've tried, encourage them to go ahead and speak up and express themselves and not, you know, uh go back and forth with them, allow them to express themselves and hear them out. And it was like she had a flashback, and she's like, well, I was always raised to be quiet and never say anything and just I told her, yeah, that was when you were a child, but you're an adult now. You know how to speak up, you know how to voice your concerns, you know how to argue back with me and tell me when you're disappointed. Like, I can't read your mind. I cannot read your mind. So then she starts mocking me while she's upset. And then I tell her, now look at you. You're mocking me. Then she tells me, what does she tell me? I'm directing my emotions to her. Oh my God, to make a long story short, we end up in a daggone truck crying and laughing and hugging. I mean, I was laughing because it really was funny to me because at one minute I'm getting mad because now the hood coming out of me because she's doing all this Caucasian lady behaviors and antic. Like, she's so dramatic. Maybe it's daggone Sagittarius in her. I'm like, oh my God. And then we had to get here to the house and we're talking in the car. And she tells me I'm saying the same thing over and over because she won't say it quite the way I want her to. And I said, no, it's not about saying it quite the way I want you to say it. It's just hearing what I'm telling you and acknowledging. Yes, you failed to communicate. But girl, when it was all said and done, we were up in the truck hugging and laughing. And and then she could take me mocking her, but I'm like, girl, you almost worked my nerves. I mean, I love having adult kids, but hey, Charlie, welcome. I mean, Lord have mercy. I'm like, how is it for other parents? I mean, like, cause I'm the first generation out the hood and to go to college and try to do things different. My children, are second generation. My other daughter, well, both of them are kind of like me. Like, we're independent. We don't do things our own self before we ask anyone for help. I am very proud that my daughters have a very close relationship, and they will go out of their way to help others. But girl, I'm like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. Like, what kind of mother would I be to allow her to struggle? And that's what I told her. As a parent, it's my job to be there for her, be there for them to help them out. I mean, I'm not really. I mean, she was so so extra, so extra. I told her I was gonna do a live tonight too. I told her honey, I'm about to talk about this. Because sometimes we can talk and we'll cut up and have fun. But tonight was on a whole nother level. Like, really. Like, what was that going to do? Drive to the bank to get my money only to need it. What are you about to do? Be homeless? Because I know she ain't going to get out there and sell no kitty cat. I haven't raised them that way. Honey, they holding on to their cat tighter than a frugal man with his last dime. Baby. And I'm like, I'm supposed to get up and go to work tomorrow, and I'm dealing with this foolishness. Then I tried to eat the food that she purchased me, and Lord, I don't know where she got it from, but honey, it is not the Mexican food I'm accustomed to eating. And I'm telling you, but I haven't had the chance to creep on these YouTube streets to hear anything, to see anything. BS, I saw where you were doing a little bit on that lady Tyra Crosby. But girl, this morning when I was getting ready for work, I had saw a video where this young black lady, and and she's young, 45 girl. She left Indianapolis and went down to Miami to get a BBL, and I think she got BBL and liposuction and ended up dying. 45 and 11 grandkids. My daughter was over here and she said, "Mom, why?" I said, "But 45, I'm stuck on the 11 grandkids. 45, 4 kids with 11 grandkids." But then when you look at her picture, you could tell her BMI was high. But I said, these BBLs really killing folks. I mean, honey, couldn't be me. Then that Tyra Crosby with the young girl, but I had a son and I can't have. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, when your son gets married or whatever, you may end up having you a granddaughter, and then that'll be the daughter that you've always wanted. But baby, yes, we were she wanted to see the update on that young 25-year-old Tyra Crosby. They had that young lady's funeral quick, so we were watching it. And my daughter is of the mindset, women, the wife shouldn't have done anything to her. And I told her my only thing is the wife should have got rid of both of them, the girl and the husband. And my daughter said, "Well, Mom, he was already cheating on her." I said, "It probably was." I said, "I don't have all the facts to that story." I said, "But I'm wondering if, they were separated." I said, "But looking at the girl mother, she had on a blonde quick weave and some false eyelashes." I told her, "Something tells me being a side chick is in the mama's you spirit too." That's where she got it from. So my daughter started laughing and said, "Mom, stop judging. You don't know that." I said, "Look how this woman is dressed at the funeral." Baby, she was at the funeral with the dress was cut up to her hip at the funeral. Honey, they had people dressed in different attire. You had some people dressed like they were going to a wedding, some people dressed like they were going to a picnic. Honey, they were just looking a hot mess. Tank top, spaghetti straps. I told her, "Look at all them side chicks at that funeral. I don't see nobody with a man there." But we watched that. Then I saw today, Vias, have you done anything about Carly? I guess she was arrested and charged. Did you talk about that at all? I'm just so Carly out. It's like, and then her picture, she had the nerve to smile up in the picture that she got arrested. I said, honey, honey, no. And then y'all see. Now, Miss Coffee, I know you were in my first live that I did, that love and messiness, when I talked about how Beyonce's mother house, you remember that story was going around, how that safe was stolen, and I said way back then that I believe Richard Lawson may have taken it as a parting wedding gift. And baby, how come what is it, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, and you find out that Beyonce mom is divorcing Richard Lawson? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna do a short about well, you know what? I hate to look at somebody's picture and judge them, but baby, when they show all those little clips of her, the way she was talking, you know, I'm like, God, dog. I guess he said it's time to go. But did you notice that they've had it online that supposedly he was looking at porn on Twitter? And I'm like, why all of a sudden now all this information is coming out? Why didn't it come out before? So I think that's strange in itself. You never know what's going on behind closed doors. But baby, I know in that one little clip where she said, he's not perfect, and I guess he was jokingly asking her, oh, he's not perfect. I'm not perfect. And she's like, no, you're not. I mean, she didn't laugh. She was serious, baby. She was serious. I was about to do a little short on her. My daughter told me, she warned me. She said the beehive will come after me. So don't do it. So, baby, I'm going to tread lightly. I'm going to listen to the youngsters. Because that's some smoke I don't want, baby. I am not trying to mess with Beyonce or Nicki Minaj, okay? I'll give a little commentary. You think she going back to Matthew Knowles? Mm, mm, mm. I hope not. I hope not. You know, I don't even know why the side kids are speaking. I don't know why they thought they would have a relationship with Beyonce. Maybe that ain't about to happen at all. You were a side baby, and in a side baby's place you will stay. You get no invitations to the parties nor the picnics. You get no picture nor camera time. Remember years ago they used to say Jay-Z had a child with Free from 106 in Park. We ain't never seen that baby at all. And Po Free, she lost her job on 106 in Park. So I don't know how true that story is, but baby, ain't nobody getting in the middle of that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, it's at 21 minutes. My daughter, I must be doing good because she ain't she ain't said nothing to me, but I sure told her I was going live. But I just needed to get that off my chest. Like, oh my God, no matter how old these kids get, they're always our babies. They need to know that. Mm, mm, mm. So we were having a conversation the other day. I told them when I get, you know, too old where I can't work anymore, put me in a nice little clean nursing home. My daughter told me no, she wasn't. I was coming to stay with her. You to be either with her or her sister. I said they'll never get a chance to whoop my ass at the house and pay me back for the stuff I did to them when they was when they was kids. That oldest one, baby, them girls got a little bit in me, a little bit of me in them. I see it. But baby, that oldest one, she is a hard worker. But baby, I can see it now. She'll been and turned me over roughly in the bed and wiped my butt if I had an accident and might even pop me on it and tell me, didn't I tell you to stop shitting and pissing on yourself? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Miss Coffee, you said they gonna clean you in house. Oh, my daughter said either I stay with him or I'm not going nowhere. Well, I don't want them to beat me up. Ah, thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Charlie. I try. And then I have to remember not to be so tough, you know. And I thought about that when she was sitting there having a nervous breakdown in the truck crying. I mean, just boo hooing. At one point, I was laughing at her while talking. Boy, that made her mad. And she started crying even more. I didn't want her to have a nervous breakdown. Oh my God, the older we get and the older our kids get. Oh my God, the stories we can tell. It's not easy being a parent. It is not easy. But boy, it helps when they love you. You can have disagreements with them and for them to turn around and hug you and give you a kiss. See, that's the kind of disagreement we need to have. Who, this green girl? Oh, is she? Watching Barbie with 50 Lord have mercy. Miss Coffee, girl, I took my grandson. He wanted to go see oh my God, what is it called? It was Spider-Man something. And he calls me Nene. He was like, Nene, I want to go see Spider-Man. Took him a couple of weeks ago to go see Spider-Man, him and his uncle. Lord, if I wasn't so bored in that daggone movie, I think the only time it got interesting to me is when uh the little black Spider-Man was trying to get away from all the other Spider-Mans. But baby, I was bored up in there. It's hard being a grandparent. I'm glad I only got one. My eldest daughter keeps telling me she's having another one. I tell her, You got your headphones on trying to tune your grandbaby out, baby. Them grandkids will get up in your face, baby, to get your attention. Mm-mm. My daughter tells me I'm too soft on my grandson. She said, Mom, you're nothing. You don't treat him nothing how you used to treat me and my sister. I'm like, because you learn. You learn, you get older, and you learn how to do it better. I told them, I said, nobody taught me how to be a parent. And the way I spoke to you girls and raised you, that's the way I was raised. I didn't know any better. But I said, but baby, my grandson is my heart. Boy, he'll take up for me and he'll tell his mother, quit. That's my Nene. She's supposed to be asleep. She ain't going, that grandbaby ain't going to sleep until you lay down. Until her grandma, her nana, or lay down. She ain't laying down, baby, because she thinks she gonna miss something. You might get up and go somewhere. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But everyone, thank you for coming. This was last minute. I just needed the YouTube is kind of like my little journal. Y'all nanas do get them. Yep, yep. They do, Charlie. Mm-hmm. My right now I'm missing him. I have been helping and watching him, but right now he's with his other grandmother with her. So I'm waiting for my turn to get him back. That's my little buddy right there. And that boy, a Aries, just like me. Boy, we're so emotional, competitive, and then we'll get to arguing with each other, and then we'll tell each other. I'll tell him, "You hurt my feelings," and he'll say, "Nene, you hurt my feelings too." Cause you left, and I'm like, "Well, can we make up and be friends again?" And he'll give me a hug and say, "Yes, Nene, I love you." Then my daughter said, "You guys are so dramatic. Two Aries." I said, "Yeah, baby. Two peas in a pod." Okay. Well, I'm gonna let everybody go. It's almost 30 minutes. I need to. Oh, Lord, Aries. Yes, that's what everybody say. I went to work today. My boss, she thought I was quitting. She saw me. She said, "I called to check on you." And I told her, I said, I was about to quit. I sure was. Baby, that's a work time story for another day. But honey, they had all the big wigs come talk to me and tell me not to go nowhere. Don't tell me how good of a job I'm doing. Give me some more money. Oh, Charlie, you are a Leo. You Leos can be lovable, but baby, don't make you Leos mad, baby. You'll see a whole nother side, a petty, mean side. Miss Coffee, your husband is an Aries. Well, you know us Aries can be lovers now. Emotional. We seem stubborn, but we're so sensitive. Lord have mercy. All right, everybody. I'm gonna let everybody go to sleep. Get you some rest, whatever you need to do. Oh, Libra. That's what my other daughter is, a Libra. Baby, I got a Libra, Sagittarius, and an Aries. Mm, mm, mm. Well, you all have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. Hit the like button on your way out. But thank you, and I appreciate everyone. Good night.